JLGP lives here.
Week number 8 kicks off in Calgary where the red-hot Stampeders welcome the Alouettes to town. The Stamps have won 3 straight and are off to their best start since 2018 when they won it all. Montreal, Calgary from McMahon coming up on TSN.
Vernon Adams Jr. looking to duplicate what he did last week and had a 3-touchdown game. If he can do this tonight, big play VA will lead him to another victory.
Montreal Thompson for the Alouettes is going to start at quarterback. He wasn't happy with his performance last week, and he said that he wants this game more than anybody in this locker room. The veteran will go out to improve himself tonight.
Unfortunately, we won't see the Philpot Bowl tonight. No Tyson, but we do have Jalen, and he's a lead receiver for these Calgary Stampeders, which has an exceptional receiving core, and he may be the #1 guy.
Well, arguably their best player on defense against the Argos last week. Kabion Ento leads the way in that game with 5 tackles, 1 INT. Montreal will need another huge performance from him. And their entire defense, if they have any shot against one of the best in the West, the Stamps have been on fire, and the panel's always on fire. It is Enoch Mwamba, Davis Sanchez, Milt Stegall as we officially kick off week number 8 in the CFL. We'll break it all down in just a moment. But first, let us bring in Chantel Shand, who is live in Calgary for us. And Chantel, I love the Stamps post this afternoon that basically said the weather just rolled in perfectly for us, so fingers crossed we are fine on a weather front. But when it comes to injuries, plenty of updates on that front.
Yeah, for sure. First on the weather, I thought I was bringing the rain from Vancouver a little bit, but finally we lucked out here. You guys mentioned McLeod Thompson. I had a chance to speak with Coach Moss, and he told me that he does actually like him in the RPO game. It's a little bit different from Davis because Davis is mobile, but at the same time, they like what his arm can do. As for injuries, as it was mentioned, no Tyson Philpot, no Joshua Archibald, and also no James Letcher Jr. In for him is going to be Lincoln Victor. They're going to use him as a returner like how he was used in college at Hawaii and Washington State. Now, as for Calgary, this might be the biggest news. Starting right tackle is going to be out. Joshua Coker. In for him is a rookie, Preston Nichols. Now, he's been with the team since camp, but this is going to be his first start in a big one. Kate?
All right, let's go back to MBT for a moment now. And look, we were talking about this in SportsCenter early on, and we said when he was in, I mean, he just wasn't that great in the 2 games that he was in for Davis Alexander, but he's a veteran, and we know what he can do. We know what he's done in the past, and there's no doubt in any of our minds that he can lead this team. But do you think it's enough right now? Obviously, losing Alexander for the 2nd time with his hamstring injury, it's a huge loss for them.
No, absolutely. I definitely think they have a chance, Kate. This is a team with a veteran in McLeod Thompson who's been there. He's battle-tested. He's won before. He is proven. And yes, he has a couple of games with the Montreal Alouettes, and clearly you can see that he's not been settled. He's not been comfortable yet. And I think that this whole week of practice might have given him just enough. Yes, there won't be a Tyson Philpot, but he has enough weapons around him along with a great defense that will be able to support him. The one piece that I think will need to be a focal point tonight is going to be Sean Thomas Erlington, who will support McLeod Thompson tonight.
Yeah, you know, Chantel just mentioned the RPO game, and I do think that they need to run the rock more. You thought last week, I don't think they ran the ball enough. It's something I think Jason Moss wants to establish. The other thing for me is hearing Macbeth's comments. And I think entering the season, if there was one team that I was comfortable with their quarterback depth and if something happened to their starter, it was Montreal. And then when we saw Macbeth play early, it didn't look like the Macbeth that we're used to. I expect him in this offense. I'm certain he's comfortable now. I expect him to come out and have a good performance tonight.
People are asking the question, we're putting Macbeth in, can this team compete? Not only can they compete, I think they have a chance of winning this game. It's going to be difficult, but I think Macbeth has played enough. We've seen enough. He's experienced enough where he can go out there and lead this team to victory. Both of you guys spoke about the defense. They have a great return game, so he can step in and he can help this team out. This is his team right now. There's a chance that He could be playing for 6 or 7 more games. So he has a great opportunity in front of him, and I think he's going to take full advantage of it. As I alluded to, it's not going to be an easy task, but I think he's up to it.
Let's stick with the QBs right now, and we can all admit VA has been lights out, particularly the last 3 games. We're talking about a 73% completion percentage. He's averaging 305 over those games. He's got a 130 QB rating. The stats go on and on and on. And look, we have seen this from VA in the past, playing for BC, where he's played at this level. I mean, I think the point is, though, can he stay at this level? Because that's exactly what Calgary needs.
Yes, and I think the biggest thing he has right now is confidence. You think about what he went through in BC. Remember that game where he's playing and Nathan Rourke is being interviewed while he's still with the NFL team, and he says, if I come back, I want to come back with the BC Lions? I'm like, you got the MOP on your team, and you have this guy saying it, so I'm sure that hurt his psyche. But now, this is his team. The Calgary Stampeders are his team, and you can see the results that they're getting. I'm not actually surprised about what I'm seeing out of VA because we've seen this before. If he continues doing this, he'll definitely be the MOP this year.
Incredible culture.
I'm impressed with his playmakers, and I think that if VA has the run game, Dietrich Mills has been excellent, obviously, but I think that the ability for VA to be able to, when he doesn't like the call, when he doesn't like the matchup that he sees, he knows he has that jump ball outside. I think that has kind of been a security blanket for him. Because, I mean, if you look at Alford's catches, I mean, majority of his catches have been jump balls, things you don't scheme up. And so the fact that you have 2 things to lean on, one of them is that guy, making that 3 things. But you have Dietrich Mills in the run game, and then you have the guys that size with Rhymes and Alford on the outside to go to those one-on-one matchups whenever you don't like what you see on that particular play. I think that's given VA a sense of comfort in this offense.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely comfortable, to your point. He's absolutely comfortable. He's on an offense where it prioritizes his skill sets, right? You've seen him before do this before. He's been successful in the past. And what I love about the stage of his career that he's in right now, he's at a place where he's comfortable and he's confident. There was a point in his career where he needed to run to be able to be effective in the game. But now he stays in the pocket. And we saw him last week, one of the craziest plays I saw him complete last week, where he was trying to escape the pocket. He saw Willie Jefferson inside, and he popped out, and he slinged the ball all the way down the field for Damien Alford to get a touchdown. His arm and displaying all the skills that he possesses right now has been tremendous to watch.
Yeah, go ahead.
And as you look at him, he's got weapons everywhere, but the best thing that he has is Damien Alford, when he can just, if there's nothing else, he just throws it up.
Yeah, I want to touch on what you said real fast about him, maybe if he falls off or has steps down, which is possible. And I think at this point for VA, he almost can't. Who cares? Like, the pressure that he puts on himself, like, he's proven himself at this point where it doesn't matter. All quarterbacks have a bad game. Yeah. The biggest thing for VA, I think, if he has a bad game here or there, which is going to happen, who cares? He's proven he's an elite guy. Have a bad game, who gives a crap? Get out there and do it again.
He had a bad start in Saskatchewan, and he overcame that.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to have a bad game.
No,
he doesn't. You know who else doesn't want to have a bad game? This guy. Damien Alford's been on a tear back-to-back weeks with 2 TDs, 8 receptions, 235 yards, 4 TDs over those 2 games. More on the Moose after this.
With the first pick, the Calgary Stampeders select Damien Alford.
Getting acclimated, learning the offense. There's a lot of mental strain, but I can handle it.
Damien Alford, welcome to the Canadian Football League. House call. Alford, second of the game. Trucking it deep to the end zone. Number 2 on the night for the rookie Damien Alford. Get out the Moose Antlers.
Well, after years of frustration, Stamps fans couldn't be happier with their team's start to the season. Entertainment all around. Already 20 big plays, second most in the CFL. One of the big play guys, of course, has been the rookie in Damien, Alford. The Moose officially on the loose. The top pick in this year's draft has been on a tear. He's got 5 TDs on the season, currently tied for third with 30-plus receptions, with much more on the Canadian rookie. Let's get over to Glenn Suter.
Yeah, Kate, it's an understatement to say that Damien Alford is turning heads. He's also turning DBs and getting them up out of their back pedal in a hurry. So what are the characteristics that make a great receiver? First of all, the hands are a given. We know the hands are a given because if you're at this level, you've got good hands. But route running's so important. Look how smooth he forces the DB to bite on this little wheel route on the outside. A big catch down in the end zone against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So he's a route runner and probably doesn't get enough credit for how well he runs routes. You need that good speed too, top end speed. Watch how he runs away from this defensive back who has a jump on him and is running full speed to catch. He had to gather himself for this 81-yarder against Saskatchewan, and at the end of that run was 3 yards beyond. So he had made up ground with that top end speed. And then of course there's the contested catches, and he's been outstanding at that. I heard Davis mention that earlier in the show. This is up above the rim, gentlemen, and he went up to get it. That's what he's been doing all game long. Kate, 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games. We'll see if tonight he can add to that total.
Not too shabby suits, to say the least. So Alford's 81-yard catch reception in week number 6 versus Saskatchewan is the longest by any receiver in the CFL so far this season. He leads Kenny Lawler's 79-yard reception in week 5 against the Argonauts. Philpot's, Jalen, by the way, 66-yard reception in week number 5 versus Winnipeg is tied for 7th. Well, if you watch the CFL, you know that the Philpot twins are each other's biggest cheerleaders. But what happens on a night like tonight? Now, even though Tyson isn't playing, you know they want their respective teams to win and to win big. Recently, our Milt Stiegel sat down with the brothers to get to the bottom of this.
The one thing I really enjoy about you guys compete, but you also prop each other up. Yes, I'm sure when you're watching at home, you see him in the game. I hope my brother balls out. I hope he goes for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, blah, blah. But the question I have, when the Montreal Alouettes play against the Calgary Stampeders, are you, as the kids say, praying on his downfall, hoping he goes out there and stinks it up? Be honest.
Not against us.
You want him to go out there and stink it up?
For sure. I had a couple of my teammates asking me, hey, what do I got to do to, Cam Judge, for instance, one of my old teammates. Right. He got a little punch out on Tyson. I'm not going to say I told him how to do it, but...
It's on the ground, and Calgary is on top of it.
If you could take one aspect of Jalen's game and incorporate it into your game, what element would that be?
I think it would have to be, his shiftiness. I think he gets that from my dad. I think his rushing average right now is like 7.5 yards. So just adding that shiftiness, just that side-to-side shift, he always makes that first guy miss.
What element of his game, when you watch him, you think he needs a lot of improvement on?
I would say his route running, Being the receiver, he was a little running back growing up. He needs some work on his rockers and a little bit like that, but little bro's here to help.
You know who Wonder Woman is?
I do.
Wonder Woman, and she has that Latin. When you put that close to you, got to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth. So you think he needs some improvement?
All right, I'll tell you. His blocking.
Oh,
yes, sir. His blocking. Okay. Hey, in Calgary, we preach blocking first. So, talked to him a little bit about that. He said they get away with it a little bit, and I've seen it on tape. He's worried about, like you said, the drama diva receiver. That's him. I ain't pointing any fingers, but that's him.
You didn't start playing receiver until you got to college.
Yep.
You played running back all the way up to that point where Tyson, he played receiver his entire career. Yep. So the question is, who has the highest ceiling? Because you still have a lot to learn.
Yes, sir.
So when you guys reach your peak, who's going to be the highest?
Oh, I'm coming for it, for sure. Like I said, he peaked a little bit early, I've heard it, If he retired right now, he might have a very good career that some guys can claim that they couldn't have had. So, he loves it, but I'm here to keep him humble and to let him know that I'm coming for him.
Philpot hangs on to it. This was a huge play.
I want to ask you, and you can't answer this question with Grey Cup champion.
Okay.
Once the 2025 season ends,
Yep.
Jalen Philpot will be what?
Most outstanding Canadian.
Woo!
Sir.
You putting it out there?
I'm putting it out there.
Most outstanding Canadian.
I want it all.
Once the 2025 season ends, Tyson Philpot will be
Most outstanding Canadian.
Ooh.
Sir.
Ooh. You know who else said that?
Jalen Philpot.
Yes, he did. So what about MOP?
I would love to be MOP too. But
No, I would love to be MOP.
I think if I'm MOC, I'll be MOP too.
Time to go to our favorite graphic here on the CFL on TSN. Man, I think this one's a little unfair so far because of Tyson's injury. Come on. Corey's in the front seat. Corey obviously fully dressed head to toe, driving his
Get
2
back
points
on the
around.
field, Tyson.
21 receptions, 347. We'll see if he can add that tonight. But right now,
How does he shoulder
Tyson's
check?
backseat. Pardon me?
How does he shoulder check with the helmet on?
I have no idea.
And Corey does not need to be driving, I'll tell you that.
Have you driven with Corey before?
No. But I've heard him
Because
be
you
well.
won't drive
I
with
won't
Corey?
drive with
That
Corey.
makes
That's
sense.
my man, Corey.
Time for our same game parlay. And even though we obviously can't pick the same, Milt, I'm not surprised that you actually got this one right. You didn't pick my pick first.
I couldn't, otherwise I would have. So, but I'm going with VA with 2+ touchdowns. Is that what it is? 2+ touchdowns? The first 3 games, he didn't throw a touchdown, but the last 3 games, he's thrown 8. He went for 2, 3, and 3, and because of that, he's going to continue. So at least he's going to throw for at least 2 touchdowns.
For those who don't know, if it says over 1.5 touchdowns, that is the same thing as 2+. But
thanks for correcting me, Chaz. I appreciate it.
Sometimes you see either 1.5 or 2+. But I'm going Damien Alford over 22.5 yards, longest reception. I mean, we've seen all his catches are down the field. You saw Glenn just do the breakdown. Every shot you saw was down the field. Over 22.5 for the longest reception for Damien Alford.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Sean Thomas Erlington. I think he's going to have a big game tonight, and Jason Moss is going to have to get him involved tonight, especially because this great defense by the Calgary Stampeders, the only thing that they did wrong last week, they allowed 146 yards on the ground, and so tonight I see Thomas Erlington getting the ball.
I like that. I like the STE pick. Honestly, Milt, I was just waiting for your pick, and I was just going to make it like 5 yards difference. But, yeah, instead I'll go with my own, and I'll have Philpot tonight because I think he's going to have a big game. But I like Alford, too. I didn't know where to go on this same-game parlay. But you know what? If we do hit it, this is going to be an absolute monster. As we take a look, once again, Milt, you have Vernon Adams Jr., 2+ passing touchdowns. Ches, you like Damien Alford, the longest reception, over 22.5 yards. Sean Thomas Erlington. Are you okay, Milt?
Okay.
Enoch.
He knows that thing's not going to hit.
Yeah. Was that a laugh? Was that a laugh or a sneeze?
That was a sneeze. I
He's
tried
like,
to hold
there's
it.
no chance we're winning at plus 702, but I like Jalen Philpot over the 58.5. By the way, this is incredible. Damon Webb. Damon Webb does whatever a Damon Webb does. How good is this? We finally got ourselves.
Look at those jerseys.
Self-proclaimed the best DB in the CFL.
He's been proving it.
League. When they throw my way, it's a high chance they might be going the other way.
It's taken away. Webb down to the 5. End zone touchdown, Calgary. Webb with the pick 6. Calgary Stampeders picked up quickly. Touchdown. Damon Webb, who does it again.
Taking a look at the rest of the Week 8 schedule, we do have the Elks and the Rough Riders on Friday night. You can see pregame 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We do have a special guest coming in, by the way, too, for that one. Blue Bombers and Argonauts on Saturday. Then it all wraps up. A good one between Hamilton and the visiting BC Lions. Taking a look now at the most points off turnovers. Calgary's 54 points off turnovers, leading the CFL so far this season. Last week versus Winnipeg, they forced the Bombers to 6 turnovers. They led the CFL, forcing 19 turnovers so far. Here's Chantel standing by with Damon Webb.
Damien, you guys have been on a roll as of late, but how important is it to still protect home field here tonight against Montreal?
It's very important. Like, this is our home field, and we protect it at all costs. No team gonna come here and think it's a cakewalk. So we defending our home field. That's what we're doing.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson obviously is a veteran quarterback in this league. He gets to start here tonight. How are you guys going to try to make it difficult on him tonight?
Yeah, just try to get pressure on them, trying to confuse them with different looks, and then just go after the ball when the ball's in there. That's what we do.
Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Who better to talk about defenses than our Davis Sanchez? And look, we give a lot of hype to this Calgary offense, and rightly so, but really all 3 phases of this team are clicking. This defense has been absolutely sensational. And for MVP to step into this one, he's going to have to be darn good because this defense is clicking.
Yeah, and Damon Webb just mentioned getting pressure would be important. Well, they don't pressure the quarterback. They don't blitz at least. And Enoch, you talk about that. Played for Bob Sloan. That's not what he likes to do. He rushes, honestly, he rushed 3 a lot of the time, but 3 or 4. But what they do so well, and it really starts with Damon Webb. Think about Damon Webb's skill set. Damon Webb played for Ohio State. He was a free safety for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He was actually the MVP of the Cotton Bowl for a loaded. Look at the roster of Ohio State. It is loaded full of talent. He was the MVP of that Cotton Bowl, but as a safety, came to the CFL. He was the halfback last year for Ottawa, so a cover guy. But they saw something in the offseason in his ball skills and his game, and going back to college, said, this guy, we can move him to safety. Even though he never played safety in the CFL, goes back there. Now they have the ability to move guys around. Those 3 guys, the 2 halfbacks and the safety, are really interchangeable. You'll see them move around a lot. It gives offenses a lot of problems with all the movement, but that's some of the reason why they rush 3, drop all those guys in coverage. They're interchangeable, makes them real tough to play against.
It's amazing that this defense has been able to gel this fast because this is a totally new defense. These guys, they don't know each other that well. You talk about the defensive backs, you talk about Webb. This is his first year with the Stampeders, but they have 3 defensive backs who are playing their first year in the CFL. And Davis, you know this better than anyone. For defensive backs to play well together, they have to know each other. These guys are learning each other, and they're playing this well. So it's truly amazing what this defense has been able to do. As I mentioned, I've been part of overhauls before, and they didn't work. The overhaul that these Calgary Stampeders made, especially on defense, is working perfectly. They're doing a great job. They don't need to get to the quarterback because they have so much on the back end. They got your best friend, Flo, getting after the quarterback, maybe one of the best defensive linemen in Hutchins. These guys are playing great, and it's truly surprising thinking that they're still getting to learn each other. And when they figure that out, they can be even better.
One thing real fast. Moncrief and Webb, those 2 guys are the inside guys. Those guys do all the adjusting and shifting. So they might have young guys on the outside, but those 2 guys doing all the adjusting, both veterans, that makes it easier.
They have a lot of experience. You talk about Milt, the team that doesn't necessarily always bring a lot of pressure. Davis, you talked about it. Well, the Montreal Alouettes do exactly just that. They bring a lot of pressure. They got a guy in Sankey that's in the middle, that's orchestrating everything in the middle. But Noel Thorpe and the defense that he likes to call, we all know this. He's going to bring the pressure. So it's going to be interesting to see tonight what VA and how VA is going to be able to handle that pressure, because if you look at the last 3 games and how successful they have been, one of the things that Vernon Adams has done really well is hit the long ball really well. And tonight he's going to be rushed, and he's got a guy in Kevin Anto who's probably one of the when you talk about the length and DBs who can actually go down the field with a Damien Alford when he's trying to throw it up there because of the pressure. It is going to be interesting to see how he reacts.
You guys have completely sold me on this defensive battle, by the way.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
One thing.
That dance, the Sankey leg, is that him?
Who, Sankey or Enoch?
It is not.
Sankey.
Why are you acting so old?
Chantel, standing by with MBT.
McLeod, you get the start here tonight. How much more comfortable are you in this system?
Yeah, I'm excited to get out there and just play a game against a really good team. So definitely feeling more comfortable with each rep, and hopefully it's a good show tonight.
Obviously, Calgary is not only a good offensive team, they've got some defensive weapons as well. How are you guys going to try to neutralize them today, especially in the pass game?
Yeah, no doubt. They put it on tape, right? They put it on tape for the last 3 weeks against some really good quarterbacks. So we got to protect the ball. We got to be efficient on first down and execute on second down. It's a simple game plan. We just got to be good.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, McLeod just 3 TD passes away from 100 in his career. Also just needs 12 completions for 1,500. Isn't that nice? David, Jason Moss, just chucking it.
I feel the beat. I feel the heartbeat. I feel the heartbeat. I feel the beat. I see the flames. I see the flames.